All right, thank you.
Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Paulsen.
Congratulations also, Mr. Ambassador. I echo the comments of some of my colleagues. I want to shift gears and just talk about India real quick. You're aware that many U.S. businesses and investors are facing issues that significantly are impeding their ability to compete in India. And as you know, Congressman Larson and myself, we recently sent a letter with 170 of my colleagues ahead of last month's U.S.-India strategic dialogue, urging the administration to make India's deteriorating environment for intellectual property a focus of that dialogue. And I know last week India announced a review of its preferential market access policy, which requires information technology products to be produced in India as a condition of sale. That's a policy that would violate fundamental global trade rules, obviously. But that review does not solve the problems facing the information technology sector in India. It doesn't do anything to address the serious concerns in other sectors, including the solar industry. And it doesn't do anything to address discriminatory tax treatment or stop the blatant theft of American intellectual property. The primary forum to discuss bilateral trade investment issues is the Trade Policy Forum, which USTR co-chairs, but it hasn't been held since 2010. When do you expect to hold the next Trade Policy Forum? What can we do to support you in these efforts, and what's the administration doing to ensure that U.S.-India trade and investment relationship is on a positive trajectory down the road?
Well, thank you, Congressman. And this was very much at the center of the agenda last week when we had the U.S.-India CEO Forum. We had the Finance Minister, the Trade Minister, and the Deputy Chairman of the Planning Commission in town for a series of meetings precisely on that issue of the investment and innovation environment in India, how it's affecting our bilateral economic relationship, and how we might be able to address it. And I had very good conversations with my new counterpart, the Trade Minister, Sharma there, and we've agreed to have our staffs work closely together to tee up and try and resolve a number of the outstanding issues so that we can have a ministerial level trade policy forum sometime in the future. But we want to make sure that the groundwork is laid and that we're making progress towards resolving those issues in the run-up to that meeting.
And what can we do to help support you in that effort, knowing that this is a, Congressman Crowley and others, we led a little meeting also with the Finance Minister recently, had a great conversation to keep that dialogue going, but what else can we do to support you in your efforts?
I think it's been very important for India to understand the breadth of concern in the business community, in Congress, the bipartisan basis of that concern. I think it helps focus the attention on what needs to be done. It's one thing if we say it to them, but if they're hearing it also from a variety of other sources, I think that's very positive, and I'd encourage you to continue that.
Thank you. I yield back.